Hi, everybody. Hi. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me clearly? Hi, everybody. What's going on? It's your girl, Bondi Blue. I am back for another members only live. We're about to get into Family or Fiance, and then we'll get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys, y'all know I have my show tonight. I'm so excited. Okay, when I say my show, I just mean the show that I'm hosting. But it is Tonya Boyd Cannon's show, and she is a local artist out here. She's actually from Mississippi, but she's a local artist. She's been here for 30 years. And I am so excited and I can't wait. But I felt like it would be easier to deal with the nerves if I would have come to y'all with the bullshit beforehand. So that's what I'm here for. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Okay. The show is sold out. So like I'm just super duper excited about it. Thank you. Thank you, Nisi. Hey everybody. I see y'all in the chats. Okay, so let's go ahead and start because I can't be here all day, girl. All right. So let's go ahead and get into Family or Fiance, girl. I could tell that Josh was from New Orleans by the way he speaks. Hey Sydney, thank you. I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea. Like I'm trying not to let my nerves get to me. Cause they're like, they're like hovering beneath the center. But I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great. And I think we're already planning like the next one and all of that. So we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. I hope it goes well so I can continue to do this. So more people will want me to do this out here locally and maybe in other places. So I'm trying to speak it into existence that will be doing speaking engagements and hosting in other places and other types of events from this event. So y'all pray for your girl. All right. Before I get into this whole family or fiance foolishness, let me go ahead and run my intro, girl, because I be needing to run my intro because that's just how I feel. Okay. So let's go ahead. Hold up. How do I get this off until I'm ready for it? Boom. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right? Publish. Okay, girl. You just, it's a lot going on, but I hope we're doing this as seamlessly as possible. Seamlessly. Get your words right, girl. You're going to need to get your words right for tonight. Okay. Listen, I may not have time for a TED Talk, but I feel like I can handle it. I feel like, I got it, you know? But I always appreciate any advice that you may want to text me. So, you know. But let's go ahead and get into it. Tiffany and Josh. Okay, let me put the graphic back up. Tiffany and Josh. Okay. So apparently Tiffany and Josh have been together, I believe they said for like 7 years, maybe even longer. I could not remember. But he has been different for the past 5 years. He's sick, like physically sick, in the car on the way to the house, and everybody's like, what's going on with him? Is he really sick or is it something in his mind? But no, really, it seems as if his anxiety and his overall mental and emotional stress will have a physical effect on him and he doesn't know how to handle it. And to me, that usually shows up because people don't know how to handle their emotions. And it's not about controlling, it's about handling, because the feelings that you have, you're going to have those feelings. It's just knowing how to power through your emotions without letting them get the best of you. And I feel like one of the things that has been failed upon the Black community is being able to control and handle your emotions properly. I think that's something we have not been taught. And so it shows its way through in different ways. And I do believe he was getting physically sick because it was hard for him to deal with their situation, deal with their relationship. It's easier to woe is me, feel bad, don't say anything, like it's just easier to stay in that negative space than to try to pull yourself out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I have realized for a lot of Black men that they are depressed, and they allow the depression to keep them in this type of pit. That's what I want to call it, because I feel like they get really low and they feel like they can't see their way out of it. And so they just stay there instead of trying to pull themselves out of it. Like you see so many Black men that, have the same physicality as him, as he's sitting there, slouched down, head back, just completely detached emotionally and physically from the moment that he's in, because he's still dealing with something on the inside that he doesn't want to actually deal with. He has the feelings, he has the remnants, but he's not actually dealing with it by finding out, why am I feeling like this? Where is this coming from? What am I actually scared of? How can I handle it so that I don't feel this way going forward? There are so many things, I think, that obviously need to be dealt with. And it's not just the deaths. Josh, and Tiffany basically blamed all of their issues on her losing a baby and him losing his mother within a month of each other. And I just kind of feel like, yeah, that would be convenient. That just exacerbated probably an already toxic relationship, because y'all don't communicate in a healthy manner. Blaming the 14-year-old for issues in y'all's relationship? Like, on what level did y'all think that was reasonable? They had me thinking that 14-year-old girl was in her 20s, the way they were blaming her for issues in their relationship, in their marriage. That was crazy. And they were saying it, both Tiffany and Josh, saying it with their chest, that it was this 14-year-old girl's fault that they had issues in their relationship, and that Josh, this grown-ass man, is sad. Mind you, this is a 14-year-old girl who, for the first 9 to 10 years of her life, did not know about him. So because she's not comfortable with being around a man she doesn't know, y'all have now made her responsible for y'all not being able to handle the grief that y'all are going through. Insane, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, for these two grown ass people to put all of that on the feet of that 14-year-old girl during this episode. I was floored. Okay. So they lost the baby, but then after they lost that baby, they had two more children. Let's not negate the fact that he keeps talking about how the daughter doesn't want to come and see him. Do you ever go and see the daughter? Do you go and make a physical effort, or do you just expect her to come to you? Because to me, it seems like y'all expect for the 14-year-old, ever since she was 9 years old, to be active towards a parent that she doesn't even know. Y'all are insane. Okay? They really bothered me with the way they were talking to the teenager. Like, she's supposed to be responsible for the relationship, especially when you consider the fact that Tiffany herself, as she said, has a 10-year-old, a 18-year-old, and a 23-year-old. So she already had 3 kids, 2 of which are grown, before she had these last 2 with Josh, 1 and 2. And I was just kind of like, so you had your children young, obviously. And I don't know how much you could have possibly learned from raising those 3 kids to adulthood almost. I don't know how good you could have done them if you are expecting a 14-year-old to be responsible for y'all's relationship. It just makes me wonder all the ways you probably have failed those other kids by expecting them to be adults instead of being children. Like, girl, get it away from me. Okay. Let me see. He's being sick. She's trying to fix him. Tracy tells her to let him be sick. If he's feeling bad, let him feel bad until he can figure out how to fix it for himself. When you try to fix it for him, he wants to fight you. So instead, take yourself out of the equation. Let him fight his damn self, because that's what he needs to do, because the issue is within him. The issue is not within y'all's relationship. Not really. The issues that Josh and Tina are having are issues that really are about them as a person. I feel like Josh probably always was the type of person to have this very lethargic, sluggish type of energy about himself. But being depressed probably made it worse. But I also thought it was so funny how a nigga that's so depressed can be dressed to the nines. I'm not going to argue with you about it, because depressed people, certain things are automatic, and how you look is one of those things. But for me, on some level, it felt like truth and manipulation together. Like, yes, he is depressed, but there is an entitlement where he feels like him being depressed means that he shouldn't have to do the things that he's supposed to do because he's feeling away. And that's crazy to me. Okay, so they go through their timeline, and Josh is grieving and he doesn't know how to come out of it. Her mom and her daughters want him to, get over his issues and get it together. His daughter is there. She hasn't talked to Josh in a year and a half. And Tiffany was very accusatory with the way she said, your father goes through a lot and he's depressed, and you haven't called him in a year and a half. And that makes him feel away, and he gets upset. And then I have to deal with how he's feeling. He says, see, look, she don't care about me. She didn't call me. And I just kind of want somebody that's an adult in the room to turn to Josh and say, Josh, she's a child. You're the adult. So if you want a relationship with the child that you don't know, you are the one that needs to actually go and make the effort. Calling and asking behind her, I don't think is enough. I think it makes you feel like you've done enough. But no, that's not how any of this works. She don't know you, and men are unsafe in general. So you really think this young girl is supposed to open up her heart to you when she just found out about you? Like, he was expecting his 9-year-old, this 14-year-old, when she was 9. That's when the first baby that Tiffany and Josh had together passed away. Premature baby. And they expected her to call him to see about him and the siblings she's never met. At 9. I wanted somebody to curse him out. I'm not even going to tell. I really wanted somebody to say, you calling a 9-year-old is not enough for you to form a relationship with her, for her to feel that she needs to make an effort with you. She's a child. She shouldn't have to make an effort with her parents. Her parents are supposed to just be there, and the relationship forms from the fact that you take care of her. The relationship between parent and child does not form because the child is being responsible for the relationship. That's not how any of this works. So all of that to me made it seem as if these two people are not functioning in reality. It feels to me they're very delusional. And I feel like the way the subject matter was handled on the show was more of a let's feel bad for Josh because he's depressed. But Josh is a deadbeat dad. Josh doesn't handle the relationship with his wife adequately. He doesn't handle his emotions adequately. And he's sitting here like a bump on a fucking, like a bump on somebody's ass. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that how he is with the money? Does he pay any bills? We didn't have any of those conversations about what their life actually looks like. All we really got to see is them blame his child for their issues and blame, deaths for their issues. And we had to have a grief counselor come out and explain to them that he's depressed and Tiffany is resentful and will beat him up with her words when he's already low. So she beats him while he's down because she's tired of carrying everything as he's allowed to just lay his ass there and do nothing. And I feel like Tiffany needs to take responsibility for herself. And that doesn't mean threatening to leave. That means leaving. Don't threaten to leave. If you're not happy in the relationship, if you're not getting what you need out of the relationship, you lost a baby too, bitch. His losses are not more important than yours. And you've still been able to continue to have children for the nigga, take care of him, you and the other kids and all of that, and still find time to blame 14-year-old Tiffany for the fact that your marriage isn't working out. 14-year-old child, that the marriage isn't working out. Girl, No, I think both of them are on bullshit. I would understand why Josh's baby mama probably wouldn't even let his 14-year-old go by them people if they want. Oh, Tiffany, I love her. I love her. No, you don't. Don't act like you love that little girl. Because if you loved her, you would not blame her for adult problems. You are going to have issues in your marriage either way because of the personalities of the two people that are in the marriage. How is it that a child that's not even involved in y'all's life is the cause of issue? That is crazy. I'm always going to go back to that point, y'all, because I was just like, how many times are they going to... And eventually Josh apologizes to her after Tracy told him they sound crazy. But she had to really wait, y'all realize y'all can't blame a 9-year-old for not reaching out to y'all. And she had just found out that you were her dad when she was 9 or 10. So because you called her for her birthday when she was 9, she's supposed to be calling you in the same manner. You believe that a relationship between a 9-year-old and a parent is supposed to be reciprocatory. Everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs counseling. But I am still feeling like OWN Network is geared towards coddling men by, I believe, focusing solely on the emotions they refuse to confront without the accountability. And that's really how I feel about OWN Network in all seems to be a network that wants black men to be able to be comfortable expressing emotions, but they shouldn't be comfortable with taking accountability for the way they abuse the people in their vicinity. And that is problematic to me. Very, very problematic. But, that's all I have to say about them. They say they went to therapy. They working on their relationship, girl. I guess. But let's go ahead. And move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl, because I have a lot of opinions about this. I do. So, okay, are the notes going to come up? The notes aren't going to come up? It's foolishness. It's foolishness. It really is. Okay. That's all right, y'all. I have the notes here on my phone. So... the episode starts out with Mel getting a massage. Okay, Mel was getting a massage. She got life-size posters of her products all up and through so the camera can catch them. So she is always promoting her business, my girl. Okay. And Stormy comes over. Stormy comes over with the air of a go-between on the cast. That is what it felt like. Okay. Now listen, before we even get into this, yes, I have seen the videos. I saw the video that Empress Radio did. I've seen some of the comments and commentary on the beef between Stormy's mama, and Melody. Okay, I have not seen Mel say anything directly to Stormy, but apparently Mel doesn't like Stormy's, post on Instagram and things of that nature. People are paying very closely to the fact that Mel isn't in any of her likes, and Stormy says, hey, I'm not in her likes and she's not in mine. As far, as their relationship is concerned, Stormy says her mom doesn't like Mel, but she hopes her mom is wrong about Mel. And I don't know what Mel has done to Stormy behind the scenes. Stormy has not said that Mel has done anything to her as far as I can tell. But to me, what it feels like is Stormy wants to be a part of Love and Marriage Huntsville because it's good for Stormy's business. Okay? Stormy is about her business, correct? And being on this show is publicity for her business. That's what it is. And I believe that they brought her on as a friend to Mel, but in essence, she has to get along with the rest of the cast in order to be a part of the cast. Okay? So you start doing your little videos and shit with the Scotts, hanging around Destiny, wanting to be friends with Destiny so much, hanging around Tisha, wanting to be friends with Tisha so much. Mel probably feels like, okay, I see this. I kind of don't like it. So I'm going to back away. And I think the backing away is because Mel recognizes that once people get on this show, they're no longer her friend or her associate. They're a part of the cast, which means they have to be a part of, other things with the cast members. They have to have relationships with those other people if they want to be on the show as more than just a friend of Mel. And I think Stormy wants to come on the show as a full cast member. In order to do that, she has to form the bond in the relationship with the other people on the cast. I also feel like, the writing may be on the wall that eventually Mel might not be on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville will continue without her. And if that happens, then the people who remain on the cast will probably be the Scotts. So, in essence, I understand what Stormy is doing. I also understand what Mel is doing. Okay, Mel did make a post with some questions I saw on Twitter, but it wasn't calling anybody out specifically from what I saw. Let me see. What does it say? Mel made a post in her story. She said she spoke to Stormy last night, and the post she was talking about was not about Stormy. Okay, so things have been cleared up amongst them. Okay, got you. Y'all, I don't know if y'all saw that. Because I forgot to publish it. Hey, comment. Hey, how you doing, Miss Devin? Thank you for the information. But yes, okay, that's good to hear. But I absolutely feel like the way Stormy is moving is, I want to be a part of the cast. And the way Mel is moving is, okay, you want to be a part of the cast. We can't really be tight like that because I don't trust those other people. And that's just what it is. And that's understandable to me after everything that has happened on the show, with the Scotts repeatedly joining forces in order to make her look bad and make her look like the villain at every turn. Okay, this episode was no different. Everybody trying so desperately to make it seem as if Mel is bothered by Sheree is insane to me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably going to say shit that people don't agree with in this video. But in my therapy, I have realized that people feel badly when you don't do what makes them feel comfortable. People do not like when you ignore your own feelings. People do not like when you don't ignore your own feelings for them. I think everybody wants Mel to act a certain way to make other people feel comfortable. And when she doesn't do that, y'all call her petty. When she does act cordial and ignore her issues and just smile and grit, grit through the situation, then everybody calls her fake. So I personally feel like she can't win for losing. But when Stormy comes over, they discuss the Destin trip, and then they discuss Martell sharing business with his child's mother, which was triggering for Mel because Ariane went on social media and said more than just the fact that Mel had COVID. What happened was, and this is what I think happened, and I think I'm right, so I'm going to go ahead and preface this with that, but this is what I believe happened. I believe Martell was upset after the Destin trip because he could not convince Mel to warm up further to him so that he could possibly get back into her good graces. I think he's been trying to get back with her. I think he wants to be with her. I think he wanted her when he invited the Scotts over. It was, think about how things used to be, Mel, so that she'll get that nostalgic feeling and maybe soften up to him and maybe consider taking him back. It didn't work. It didn't work because he didn't handle it properly, because he's not healed. He isn't trying to heal. He's just trying to manipulate her. As I've constantly said, it's all a manipulation. Anytime he's doing something that he feels like makes him the bigger person, it's a manipulation to get a likewise response from Mel. And what people don't seem to understand is it doesn't matter what the fuck Martell decides to do. If Melody doesn't want to do something, she doesn't have to do it just because he thinks that's what she should do, or because y'all think her response is petty. Because I could see how y'all can feel that way. I do. But I also don't give a fuck. I'm one of them people that if I'm protecting my peace, you can call it childish. You can call it petty. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. I do not care. I don't care what you call it. And if I was Mel, knowing what I know about the Scotts and Martell and everybody else, especially after what I dealt with fucking Destiny and Tisha and all the rest of these people that I fucking helped, and they looked for an opportunity to try to make me look bad, look for an opportunity to laugh at my pain. Fuck everybody, as far as I'm concerned. If I was Mel, that's how I would feel. I'm sorry, it is. So let me explain again. Martell was mad because he couldn't get back in Mel's good graces. He gets back home to Ariane. He probably goes over there to do what he always does, which is simultaneously fuck her and see the baby. When he's there, he catches her up on everything that's happened. Mel said that she got into an argument with Martell over the phone, and he said she was being childish and called her Ariane's name. Martell goes back to Ariane and spills all the tea about what happened between he and Mel on at the trip to Destin and her calling to check him, told Ariane all of those things. And I think he told her those things knowing she would do what she did, which is go after Mel on social media. That was his way of indirectly getting back at Mel for not giving him what he wanted on that trip, which is to, open up to her open up to him the way he wanted her to. She was not receptive to him the way he wanted her to. He was upset about it. So he went and ran his fucking mouth to Ariane the way he has before. And she took her ignorant ass online and not only said that Mel had COVID, but she was double sick because he called Mel her name. I guess that was supposed to make Mel feel bad, but that wasn't the first time Martell had called Mel Ariane's name. Just out of, constantly arguing with both women all the time, he probably slipped up before. I recall he'd done that before. It's obviously a slip of the tongue because he's used to arguing with both of y'all all the time because he's an asshole. So, yeah, he accidentally called Mel Ariane. And so then he went back and told Ariane. And then Ariane got her ass on Instagram, said that shit in a story, was on live, once again, going off about how Mel ain't that girl enough for them to only use her on the show. So they're always using Ariane's likeness. Girl, go to hell. You don't even know what that word means if you think that us referencing the side chick ever so often is us using your likeness. Girl, get a fucking grip. Okay, always mentioning Oprah. She mentioned Oprah recently. I was like, bitch, when are you gonna stop mentioning Oprah? She don't even really work there no more. Delusional. She's delusional. But either way, Mel is responding to Ariane, once again, getting her ignorant ass online and showing Mel that she can't trust Martell because Martell will then take the things that happen between the two of them and take it back to Ariane so Ariane can then get online and be ignorant and try to go at Mel. And that's what Mel was saying. Mel says, I feel like he goes to her to get her to go after me and pits us against each other. But she's not doing that with him. But she was pissed off because it was triggering. I invited you and your mom on this trip trying to be the bigger person. Not only did I invite y'all on the trip, but I paid for y'all to be there. How much of a bigger person can Mel possibly be? Let me explain to you the chain of events because people love to forget things. Mel didn't say one slick comment except for trying to keep her boundaries in place every time Martell tried to flirt with her and make an insinuation that she would want him in her bed. That was when she was like, no, Martell, and closed the door. That was the only time she said something that he may have felt like was a slick comment before he invited the Scotts on her fucking vacation that he didn't even pay for. After that, all of the slick comments that she thought of, she probably let out of her mouth. Because if you have the gall and the entitlement to invite people you know I don't like on my vacation that you did not pay for, then I am going to say whatever the fuck I want to say if it makes me feel better. I'm going to, tell you, oh, it's nice for you to be on the yacht for the first time. Huh? Yeah. I'm going to make all them little smart ass comments that I want to fucking make because you didn't press the button that you should know better not to press at this point. But I still kept it cute because we still went on a trip. We still sat down. We still enjoyed each other's company. I accepted your apology, but it wasn't the way you wanted me to accept it. I don't have to give you that. I don't even have to sit down with you, but I did it anyway. This is Mel making a lot of concessions that she did not have to make for Martell, but she did it anyway. They get back. And now this shit with Ariane is all over social media. And this is a triggering moment for Mel. So when you come to Mel's house trying to come into... No, you ain't never came into my house before. Just because we was in the same house at Destin, in Destin does not mean now, after everything that has happened since I got back, that you're going to be coming in my house. No, you're not coming in my house. And I don't care how you feel about it. He got upset. He felt entitled to be in her space. And she said no. And everybody felt like that was her being petty about Sheree. And Sheree has nothing to do with why she felt that way. And I know this Because at the end of the day, everybody felt like Sheree and Martell was some fake shit. Nobody, when that shit first came out, which this is the time period when that first came out, especially once those pictures came out, which seemed very produced and paid for and set up, nobody believed that the relationship was real or that it would last. It all seemed like Martell trying to one-up Mel by getting on the bigger network, which is Bravo. That's why the Scotts and everybody else think that Sheree is an upgrade, because Sheree is on Bravo and they're on OWN, and the people on Bravo get paid more to spill their tea than the people on OWN. That is the only reason they believe that Sheree is an upgrade. Now, if they were really paying attention, they would be able to see that Sheree, in fact, is not an upgrade. She's a more so linear movement. An upgrade would be a woman who had more money than Mel and had more business savvy than Mel, and that was closer to Mel's age. Mel is like, what, 36, 37, in that age range? Okay? A little bit before her 40s. Sheree is in her fucking 50s. Like, why do y'all think that these two women even can be comparable, first of all? Because I don't even agree on comparing these women in that way, because this is really all about Martell. Martell is not a different person, no matter whether he's in a relationship with Mel, Sheree, or Ariane. He's the same manipulative, narcissist son of a bitch he's always been. Which is why Ariane don't know whether she want to yell at Mel on Instagram or yell at Martell on Instagram or yell at the YouTubers on Instagram. It's a scheme. It's all a scheme. And we heard that they broke up. And I'll remind everybody that Candy told me that it was OWN that didn't let him come on Bravo. So we'll see how that works out. Because Candy says she thinks that that might have been a situation, but it definitely wasn't because of her and Kenya. Hold up. Girl, yeah. Sheree is barely on Bravo. Thank you. And I personally feel like they shouldn't have asked her back for season 15. She didn't give enough last season. As far as I'm concerned, the only reason they asked her back was because of this situation with Martell. So Bravo was down. I don't think OWN was. And I think we'll see how that all plays out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this mic to be that loud. Whew. Let's see. What else did I miss? But when what Mel said wasn't even bad. Mel said, and she had commented about Sheree, and she was like, I don't have anything bad to say about Sheree. I don't know her. She seems like a beautiful woman. But I don't know why everybody think that I would be jealous about Sheree when he was cheating on me and pictured with another woman while we were married. So why would I care about him being pictured with a woman now that we're divorced? That was Mel's point. And everybody seems to be very confused about that. And I don't understand why. What's confusing? Like, she was obviously mad about the Ariane situation. To me, that's what I feel like she was upset about. She had been asked repeatedly about Sheree, and every single time she said nothing bad. Martell, for some reason, felt like she shouldn't be commenting at all about his situation. And I'm like, she didn't say anything bad, Martell. What are you getting upset for? And Destiny, as amazing as you look with no makeup, because her skin looks so pretty and glowy, you is a messy ass bitch. Did the production people tell you to pull up with that recording on your phone? What in the thirst? Am I the only one that felt like that was thirsty as fuck? For her to pull up her phone with that recording on it? Mel didn't even say anything bad. That's what I didn't hear. All Mel said was, I don't know the lady. I don't have a problem with him dating her. I don't even know her. I dealt with the nigga cheating on me when we were together. So no, it doesn't hurt me to see him with somebody now that we're divorced. That was the point she was trying to make. Everybody screams that she's bitter and jealous. And I just kind of feel like, can you please show me where? If that's the only comment that y'all have to prove that she's jealous, somebody was in my Instagram live earlier today talking about how she, what did they say? Mel just wants Martell to disappear. And I'm like, yeah, because they divorced. I'm I'm sorry. Is that not normally how these things go when people divorce? You don't want them in your life anymore. And she still has to have him in her life because they have 4 children together. So she's trying to temper how often she has to deal with his crazy ass. And also, I think that people show their lack of emotional intelligence when they can't decipher between somebody being over somebody and somebody still being hurt behind what the person did. You can be over wanting to be with somebody and still be hurt by the things they did to you. Being hurt means that, yeah, what you did to me hurt me. But that can also make a person not want to be with someone anymore. Hello? I was just like, so y'all think because she's not being nice to him, that means that she is jealous and wants to be with him. Instead of understanding that a person can simply be mean to a motherfucker because they don't like them no more. Because the person has hurt them. Because the person has disrespected them. So no, bitch, you can't come in my house. No, bitch, I don't like you. Yeah, you want me and I don't want you. All that shit. The fuck? Are we really gonna sit up here and act like we don't know Martell still wants Mel? Talking about I don't want Mel? Lies. What show are y'all watching? Talking about she just mad that he moved on. Girl, where did he move on? Because last 2 episodes when they was in Destin, his ass was all up her ass crack and didn't want anybody to know about Sheree. It wasn't until after the Destin trip that Martell wanted everybody to know about Sheree. And that was to force a reaction out of Mel. But at the same time, he was setting it up from all fronts. He was mad at Mel. When he left that trip in Destin, he was mad. So what did he decide to do in order to throw a rock and hide his hand? I'm going to tell Ariane everything I want to tell her because I know she going to take up the issue for me. And she going to get online and talk shit to Mel. So she'll come at Mel that way. And I'm going to have these pictures taken so I can release this information about me and Sheree because I know that'll hurt Mel too. Boom, pow, pow. Mel is not hurt, but Mel see you now. So now Mel is acting accordingly. No, nigga, we not cool. I tried to be cool with you, and now I see how you moving because you mad because I don't want to fuck with you no more. Yeah, no, we not cool. So when you show up to my house trying to pretend like we cool after you did all of that underhanded shit, I know what you did. The public may not know, but I know what you did. So no, I'm not fucking with you. And I'm not pretending like I'm fucking with you on camera to look good in front of people. I think that's how Mel felt. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And I think she's entitled to feel that way. Come on now. Like, what are we talking about? Let me see what y'all are saying. Hold up. Let's go to live mode right quick. There we go. Destiny playing that recording was just unnecessary. We want Trollface to disappear. Real Tasha K of Destiny. What? Say that again. He keep on knocking, but he can't get in, and he keep on knocking, but he can't get in. Come back tomorrow and try again. It was so silly, bro. But yeah, y'all, like I don't understand what everybody is seeing when they look at this. I feel like Mel is just trying to handle the situation the best that she can. I think she keeps trying to be nicer to Martell because of the children, and he reminds her that she can't be because he will take advantage of the situation. I think that's what happened, and she responded accordingly to me. She could have done way worse. And that's the thing I can't stand. Like, I feel like when we saw Bitter was Kiowa and Mark sitting on Facebook talking shit about people who don't care about them all day. That's Bitter. Worrying about another person's relationship. Did Stormy record Mel? No, Stormy didn't record Mel. When Mel had several different interviews saying that exact same thing. I don't think that was Stormy. I think that somebody else. I think Destiny might have been the one to record her because Destiny was the one that pulled out the recording. She probably was the one that recorded her. And she may have recorded her the last time they was together, or she could have recorded the interview that Mel did and played that shit. But either way, it was messy and thirsty as fuck. But I don't think that Stormy recorded her. No. So Martell is handling this event differently this time. His Inez Wine event. This time he's going to make sure he mentions things about his grandmother so that his uncle doesn't kick his ass. Chris is helping him. Destiny shows up asking about his new boo, and all he wants to talk about is the wine. Destiny asks how he feels about their recording. Excuse me, y'all. He says, how dare Mel say anything about what he's doing? And I just kind of feel like, what you mean, how dare she? What you mean, how dare she? Like, what are you even talking about? How dare she? Thank you. I appreciate that, child. Because I'm trying to do a little staycation for a Christmas present to myself. So it would be greatly appreciated, girl. Okay, thank you. Okay, listen. Um, Let me see. Okay. Publish. All right. So, Destiny asks how he feels about the recording. He says, how dare she say anything about what he's doing, which I feel like is so unrealistic. Then he brings up her letting all of these people around their children, which is something he's consistently said. We know he's trying to use that against her in court about how she lets any and everybody around their kids. He's always trying to make Mel look like a bad mother. He does that all the time. So he instantly goes to making her look like a bad mom because she says she doesn't care about who he's in a relationship with because he already cheated on her. So of course she doesn't care now. Like, I don't understand why everybody's upset about that. Okay. He says that Sheree is a good woman, which is why he didn't hesitate to bring his kids around Sheree. And I was like, so let me get this straight. You're complaining about all of the people that Mel brings around your kids, like her makeup people, their uncles, like whatever. But I feel like he makes it seem like it's all of these different people when it's really not. I think it's a way to make Mel look like a bad mom. And then on top of that, you are now telling us that you did whatever the fuck you wanted to do when it came to the children. You thought you can trust Sheree, so you brought your children around Sheree, but now you want us to feel like Mel can't do the same thing? What are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? You letting us know that you did the exact same thing with Sheree by letting Sheree around your children without talking to Mel about it, probably, right? That's what you just said. You said you didn't hesitate to let Sheree around your kids, but you mad about whoever Mel is letting around the kids? Child, it's him repeatedly insinuating she's a hoe on TV for me. Huh. Always. We're going to get to it. But anyway, Tisha and Marceau are getting ready for Martell's event. They discuss the girls arguing because that's what the girls do. Tisha says, no, the girls are cool and me and Mel are cordial. People ask if Black is carrying Inez and Tisha is like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're not carrying Martell's wine. Okay. And Marceau says in a confessional, it's not a competition. You know, the chocolate champagne is a special occasion situation while you're going to drink, Inez wine on any old regular Wednesday. And Tisha says they are not the same. And I was just like, girl, I wish y'all would decide whether y'all was friends with Martell or his enemies. Because I feel like the only people that's clear on the relationship is Mel. I feel like Mel is the only one that be like, no, I don't see it for y'all. And that's it. Martell, Marceau, and Tisha pretend to be, cool with each other and then say little slick shit. Like, it's very weird to me, the dynamics of the friendship between Martell and the Scotts, but oh well. We know we feel like that he's hiding information for them, child. But the girl wasn't fighting, no. Marceau made me mad this scene. Martell is a real nut job. Child, ain't that the truth? So everyone shows up to the wine event. Tisha, oh yeah, that comment, Marceau made that comment about Mel not coming to the event because she's angry that Sheree is a upgrade. She was, she was cool when she thought he was downgrading, but now that he's upgrading, she's probably feeling away. And I'm like, so does it make y'all feel like, so just because I'm a person that likes to think about these things. Okay. So let's say that Mel really was secretly jealous, upset, feeling a way about Martell getting with Sheree. He cheated on her. He cheated on her. She forgave him. He cheated. The girl disrespected her publicly. He had a baby by the girl. He used the girl against her. He used the Scotts against her. And then he comes back around, apologizes, calls her slut, apologizes. He does all of these things to Mel, right? All of these things. But Mel is the bad guy because she won't admit that she misses him? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? I'm supposed to believe that this is what y'all want, right? Not y'all, but them. They want us to go along with the idea that Mel, who is doing much better in her life now, money wise, business wise, career wise, she looks amazing. All her businesses have been doing exceptionally well. Her J Bolin, situation sold out. Her cosmetics line is doing very well. All of her businesses are flourishing. You're seeing Mel all over the place. Okay? Mel's life is reflective that she's doing better. So I'm confused how someone would be doing better in their lives and still be bitter. I don't see it. Like, I just don't. I just feel like she has boundaries and she has a no bullshit, like, allowed meter going on. And as soon as she do a little bit of bullshit, bitch, get out my face. And everybody thinks that's petty. Everybody thinks that, I don't know what they think, but I don't care what they think because I would be the same way. Like, you can only show me, give me your ass to kiss so many times before I'm like, I don't fuck with you and I don't have nothing to say about you and I don't like you and I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like you and I don't care. Okay? Tisha always, like, when I say Tisha questioned if Mel was going to be there at least 2 or 3 times, and that was just the times we saw. I don't know if production was asking her to do that, but it very much was giving y'all care more about Mel than Mel cares about y'all, in my opinion. I think Mel is doing better than Sheree as well, which is why I don't understand why they think that Sheree is an upgrade. See, I don't think that Sheree is an upgrade. I think that Sheree being tied to Bravo looks like an upgrade to reality TV show people. But if we're actually looking at bank accounts, access, career, likability, the more money that they can make in the future, I'm going to say that Sheree is not an upgrade from Mel. Mel had a whole show about her. Sheree isn't interesting enough to have a whole show where she's the leading cast member. And for everybody that says Mel is so boring, can y'all explain to us why this show has 5 seasons and it's all been like based on what she's been going through? For the most part. As soon as Mel wasn't a part of the show and they were focusing on the Scotts, it was boring. But the first, 4.5 seasons of this show where Mel is the main character, on every episode, your hoes are watching to the point that it becomes a cult classic. This show became a cult classic because of the way social media responded to it. So I don't understand where everybody gets this whole idea that Mel is boring, because somebody commented and said that, I don't know how y'all think people could be jealous of Mel. I don't know. Beautiful, successful, handles herself well, doesn't need a cheating, despicable, manipulative asshole of a man in order to feel good about herself, can have any other man she wants, including his friends, that she would never let touch her with a 10-foot pole, as far as I can tell, Marceau. Because we know you got a little crush on Mel. Which is probably why you do the shit that you do. Because she don't like your ass and you like her. Okay? To be honest, Tisha and Marceau are doing better than Sheree. Ooh, Lord. The fact that we've seen Mel's clothing line. Child, that alone. They really want her to be miserable and sulking somewhere. And she's not. And I don't understand, like, why, because she's not, you still want to say that she is. Because she's not being nice to Martell. Fuck Martell. I don't have to be miserable and be nice to a nigga. No, I don't have to do that. Like, no. I don't have to be nice to him to prove that I'm not miserable. The fuck? Sheree is barely on Bravo, and she hasn't felt secure on Bravo since season 2. Child, you ain't never lied. Okay? The only thing Sheree has is a bigger butt. And that might be up for discussion. You know what I'm saying? Mel was looking real thick during that last scene. Mel is very entertaining when she's in a good place. She is. Let's see. Sheree's line went from high school fashion to joggers. She didn't even wear any of her own designs back then. She didn't. It is crazy to me how, people make things up in their minds about who people are and what they have when it's very obvious that Sheree is not on Mel's level. So she's not an upgrade. I don't think Mel is upset, and I don't think that's the reason why Mel didn't show up. I feel like Mel didn't show up because she don't fuck with Martell. Anyway, so Tiffany asked Destiny about Mel since they, met up. And Destiny says, what? We agreed to disagree. Destiny, I think, thought that she and Mel were gonna be cool again after they met up, and since then there hasn't been any communication. So now she's back mad again. Because you were like, you love me, don't you? You were like that when you met up with Mel. But now that you're talking to the rest of the women, it's like you can't even be bothered to comment on it. We just agreed to disagree. We good though. But your face is telling us that you still can't stand Mel. And it's because you want to be back friends with Mel. And no matter what y'all do, it's not going to happen. I think that's where Destiny is with it. And Tisha keeps saying that it's Gucci, referring to that purse, to let y'all know how much Tisha would have been happy for the Gucci purse. Okay? Tiffany couldn't tell at the peace party if Destiny was faking like she was good or if her and Mel were actually good. And Destiny says the only person who annoyed me at the peace party was you because you still don't know how to read a room. And I was just like, oh Lord, child. So then we see Chris and Marceau. Okay, because Marceau wants to take this opportunity to clarify things with Chris because he feels like Chris can't tell the truth without being biased. And I feel like Marceau thinks he's smart, but he sounds so stupid. Like, what bias does Chris have? Chris simply said, I was with you for a couple of hours. I was in Atlanta with my wife. I saw you for a couple of hours, and I don't know what you could have done for the rest of your time there, which is obviously what makes sense. Like, what are we to believe that Chris was with you the whole 24 hours that you were there? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Two grown ass men, unless they're fucking, they're not gonna be together like all day, every day. Like, that's not all day, all night. They're not gonna do that unless they're fucking. So for me, I just, I kind of feel like, Marceau, I don't know what you're trying to make of what Chris said, but I feel like what Chris said is very cut and dry. And as you said in the confessional, you also gave people pause with your hesitation to answer who you were with when you and Tisha were talking in the car. And you said you wanted the suspense because you were tired of being questioned. No, you were surprised that Tisha actually held you responsible and actually asked you questions. Y'all, it started raining. It's cold out here. Oh, Lord, I hope it's not raining when it's time for me to leave. But yeah, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I'm not going along with Marceau and his foolishness. I don't know what he was talking about Chris was being biased. I said, what the fuck are you talking about Chris being biased? You want Chris to lie for you. Just say Chris has a penis, so I expect him to lie for me. Because that's what it is. Okay, like, you really expect for a man to lie for you just because you're a man. Like, y'all always do that, but it was obvious that Chris was not going to get caught up in your bullshit because Chris has had his own sordid past with, playing with his wife's trust, and he's not doing that anymore. He's not going to put himself on the fire with his wife to protect you and your bullshit. He's not doing it, obviously, and you're upset about it. Nobody cares. And the only reason I think Marceau is so bothered by Chris not lying for him is because I think Tisha really got in his ass after that situation. And I think it's because that picture looks exactly like Marceau. And I think she knows what the back of her husband's neck and head looked like. And I think she knows that that was him. When her mama came to her and showed her that picture, Tisha was obviously and apparently upset. And when she went and talked to him and they were crying in the car, that was the first time he ever actually answered her questions instead of saying, I can't answer that for you, babe. Remember? Every time she would come to him with a rumor that was said on social media or that Mel put out there, Marceau never would give her a straight answer. This was the first time he actually said, I was in Atlanta with Chris Fletcher after he sat there and thought about it. Boy, bye. Anyway, Tisha, what else? Tisha asked if they talked to Mel. Stormy said she did. Stormy says, what about Sheree? This was another time Tisha asking where Mel was. Martell says that Sheree isn't coming because they want to focus on the wine. Martell struggles through his written speech that is about his grandmother. Finally, the grandmother looked just like Marlene. Kimmy tells Stormy and her husband and Destiny about the cancer. Kimmy talks about Maurice being her, being by her side the whole time and keeping her grounded. I love to see it. Meanwhile, Marceau is having a conversation with Jalen, and Jalen is expressing how difficult this has been for him because he's never seen Kimmy be emotional about anything. The first time that she's actually shown emotion like this was when she got married to Maurice, and since everything on the show. So anytime they've had to cry about something, it's happened on the show. So this is all very hard for Jalen to handle for the first time, and then for it to be public as well. And I felt really bad for Jalen, and I was grateful for the fact that somebody inquired on how he was doing. But it was a moment that just made me think about Marceau and how you can show all of this emotional intelligence to Jalen. And I'm appreciative of that because Jalen needed it, but I also wonder, why is it that you can't have these same type of genuine conversations with Tisha? Whenever he's asking Tisha about her feelings, it's so that he can use it against her. It's so that he can turn it around. And I don't understand how these men, I do understand, y'all don't like women. Y'all only want women for sex and to use them to do the things that you don't want to do and the things that you can't do. You feel like you can't really be in this life without a woman, but you also really don't like women. Your socialization has taught you that women are beneath you and women are just a means to an end, a means to an orgasm, a means to children, a means to the life that you want. But you don't necessarily value them as people the way you value other men. So you have all of this emotional understanding for Jalen. And you're talking about Kimmy like she's your sister and all of this. But I have never heard him have these types of emotionally supportive conversations with Tisha. And she's the person that should get it above everybody else. And so it reminds me of one of those last episodes of the Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion where Trick Daddy and old boy have the conversation about old boy messing up his Airbnb in Atlanta, and him and Trick hadn't talked, and so he pulls Trick to the side, and as soon as he apologizes, Trick is like, you ain't gotta apologize because you ain't never been nobody that I ain't know you ain't been. So basically, they rub their dicks together and now they back cool. And, he had all this emotional intelligence trick. And I'm like, it's funny how you have it for the dudes. But whenever the women who were actually in relationships with y'all try to, get y'all to have understanding towards their feelings, gunplay. Yeah, whenever they try to get y'all to have understanding towards their feelings, when Joy tries to get you to see where she's coming from, care about her feelings, you don't give a fuck because you want to hurt her, right? But your homeboys, you would never really want to hurt them the way you hurt the women that you're in relationships with, right? I think that's crazy. I think that's weird as fuck to only show emotional intelligence when it comes to the men around you, but not the women around you, especially when you claim to love the women. It's very weird to me to only see those types of interactions between these men with other men. And that's what I saw with Marceau and Jalen. I also didn't feel like what he said to Jalen was like, how was that supposed to make Jalen feel better? Listen, I imagine that Marceau be talking in his mind and think the shit that comes out of his mouth makes sense because it made sense in his mind, but it really doesn't. Because I was listening like, is this supposed to make Jalen feel better? Because he said, my mom had cancer and, I know you're dealing with this with your mom, but this is my sister and my brother's wife, and what I think about is, how scared they must be. Even if, they're being hopeful or they're being optimistic, I'm still thinking about how scared they may be. And I was just kind of like, so what are you telling Jalen? To have his feelings, to cry, but then to also remember that his mom might be more scared than he is, that Maurice might be more scared than he is. Like, I didn't know what that meant, but it was like, yeah, have your feelings, but also try to remember their feelings matter a little bit more. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Tell me what y'all thought about it. But I don't think he said anything that was supposed to soothe Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, they're scared, and just remember that they're more scared than you think. Like, what? I just feel like he was trying to have a production moment. You was trying to produce a scene. You was trying to have a male bonding moment, because we know OWN wants to promote men being able to have their emotions in a safe space, but not be accountable for anything. Okay, like I said. Let's see. Marceau doesn't like his wife, and he doesn't respect her. If Tisha wasn't afraid of starting over, she would have left him a long time ago. Honestly, I feel like anytime that people aren't happy in relationships, they should leave until, they can figure out what they want For real, for real. But to me, staying in relationships when you aren't happy just for the sake of staying, that just doesn't seem like it's worth it. Even if the situation has to change in some capacity, break up to get back together, child. I don't know. But, staying just for the sake of staying the way Tisha does, it makes me sad. It is weird, especially when the women are so loyal to them. Exactly. Women don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Women don't put other women's feelings before their men, the way men put other men's feelings before their women. It's very weird. So at what point were they homeless? Because where all these businesses come from? Child, ask Marceau and them, because they don't never tell the truth. Bondi, Wanda told us in her live the other night, Marceau was only in Africa for 3 days, not a month. He only said that for the show. How you go to Africa for 3 days? How you go to Africa for 3 days? Wouldn't it at least take a day or a half to get there? Wanda's lying. I don't know if he was there for a month, but I feel like a trip to Africa is no less than 2 weeks or 1 week. But 3 days, you don't take a weekend trip to Africa when it's like a 16 to 20 hour flight. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Don't believe nothing Wanda say, child. Okay? That don't even make sense to me. Even when Marceau is right, he annoys me. Because it seems disingenuous. I didn't like when Marceau told Jalen that can't nobody tell you how to manage your emotions. Yeah, that's another thing. I think he meant nobody can tell you how to feel or how to feel. But people can definitely teach you and tell you how to manage your emotions. Like, what are you talking about? I agree. And he cut him off with a hug. Jalen was still talking. That doesn't even make sense time-wise. Exactly. Nobody goes to Africa for 3 days. Wanda stay lying. Yeah, she stay lying. Marceau must have gave us some money. We all know Wanda is lying. That's all that raggedy batch done. Child, a trip to Africa, a minimum a week. Exactly. It's over a 12-hour flight. We went for 9 days. Come on now. Let them know. It takes at least a day to get. That's what I thought. Because when I went to, I think when I went to Italy, it was like a 20-hour flight or something, 16 to 20-hour flight, something like that. So I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't think so. He initially said he was there for 2 weeks. Yeah, it probably was 2 weeks. And I don't give a fuck if it's a month, 2 weeks, a week. You went to Africa by yourself and, kind of repeatedly does things without talking to your wife first. It just seems like you're doing whatever the fuck you want to do and she just got to deal with it. And if that's the agreement, then that's fine. Okay, because I don't see anything wrong with taking solo trips. I don't care. I don't see anything wrong with taking solo trips. It was the way he went about it. He didn't tell her until he had already made the decision. That was my favorite lie she told that night. Oh, when was she on live? Was she on live last night or Saturday night? Because Jalen's a male. I genuinely think so. Yes. Absolutely. Because Jalen is a man. He will have more understanding for his emotions. And he can't control or handle his emotions because he's a man. Not to mention the money spent. You're not going for a weekend. I'm about to tell you. Very selfish. He is. And that's what it comes off as. Any decision he makes, it just kind of seems like it's selfish, y'all. But anyway, so let's get into the Martell situation. Martell goes over to Mel's and she comes to the door with the bag for the girls. And he says he's not there for that. He's there to talk about some things about the kids. And he says, don't keep me outside. Come on, don't do me like that. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, you're not coming in my house. Have you ever been in my house? And he was like, yes. She was like, you were on my back porch. You have not been in my house. So no, I'm not doing anything different than I've done before just because we went to Destin together. He says he's leaving. He says, invite me inside. Don't play with me like that. And I'm just like, you're not going to tell me what the fuck to do at my house. You got me fucked up. That's a part of his problem, that entitlement. As soon as he told me that, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm definitely not letting you in my house. You talking to me like I have to let you in. The fuck? So she says she never invited him into her home, and today is no different. Mel said, I set my boundaries and I stick to them. And when she said that, that's when I was like, yes, Mel. Anybody that's in therapy should be able to understand where Mel is coming from, because everything that Mel be saying sounds to me like the shit that I hear in therapy. Putting your feelings first. thinking about how you feel above somebody else's comfort, especially if you have a pattern of putting other people's feelings and emotions ahead of your own, i.e. pretending like your husband is, matching your same energy when he's really not, and you're really the breadwinner and you're really the one that does everything, but you allow him to pretend like he's doing it, and then once y'all divorce, he goes out there and lies on you. And it's because you've allowed that y'all entire relationship for him to tell people a lie when the real situation is you doing all the damn work. So yeah, child, I feel like Mel is setting boundaries, and a lot of those boundaries is I am not going along with the shit that Martell says and does, just so we don't get into it. Because as a person that is a people pleaser, and I identify that in Mel as well, you often probably stay quiet about things and don't say or call out moments that are lies because you don't want to get into it with anybody. You don't want to argue. So you just go along to get along. And when you in therapy, your therapist usually tells you to stop fucking doing that and to deal with things as they happen. It's the way you deal with things. You don't always have to fly off the handle, but you can ask somebody, well, what do you mean when you say that? What do you mean by that? It's nothing extra. It ain't no extra on it, but it made you feel a way. So now you need to inquire about what they did and why they did it if it made you feel a way. You want to be clear. People don't understand that you can confront people about bullshit without being petty, as they call it. It's called being direct. It's called caring more about your feelings than somebody else's. Okay? I can see the bullying dynamics in their relationship. He needed to be shut down. Absolutely. Yeah, when he said, you better let me in, I would have went the fuck off and shut production down. I told y'all he keep on knocking, but he can't come in. Even knocking, but you can't come in. Woo! If cameras weren't there, I think he would have barged his way in. Didn't it feel like he was going to try to like push her through the door? Child. Okay. Anyway, so he pretends as if he's leaving. She goes outside with the bag because he was calling her. So she was like, Martell, I see you're calling me, Martell, do you want the bag? And I think that's because when he originally called her to come over there, he called her acting like he needed something for the girls. That's why she came to the door with that bag. And then when, he like, no, that's not what I'm here for. But that's what you said. That's what you said when you was coming over here. So now we see the games you play. Lie, say it's about the kids so that you can force an interaction between the two of y'all. You knew she was mad at you and you was trying to force interaction on camera because you knew it would make her look bad. If she's acting salty with you while you're trying to pretend like you're being nice to her, then it seems as if she's being bitter and angry when really you've been doing shit behind the scenes and y'all already had conversations about it and you know that. So you pretend like you going to pick something up, and when she comes to the door with the bag, already knowing what you on, now you mad. Like, get the fuck out of here. That shit was very obvious to me, but they gonna act like I'm a liar. Martell knew damn well Mel doesn't let him in her house. He was just hoping, hold up, let me make this smaller. He was just hoping that she would do something different because the cameras were there. Mel was like, ninja, not today. I'm sorry. If he would have kept on, he would have gotten shot. Not to mention he lied to come over to the house, the kids needing stuff. Exactly. Get your entitled ass off my porch. Exactly. Okay. Thank you. I'm not the only one that saw that. So he said, no, I don't need no fucking bag. You could tell he was mad that shit didn't work. Anytime she does something with him, it turns into drama and bullshit. He calls her and tells her that he let her in his house. Don't be immature and don't be rude. She says, I'm not being immature. He said, I said you were being rude. You said both, nigga. I can't stand when people start to argue semantics because they know they're not winning the argument. So then you want to focus on words that we know don't matter instead of dealing with the actual issue here, which is that you think that you can shame me into allowing you to come into my space when I've decided that I don't want you in my space. That doesn't make her childish because she decided she don't want him to come in her house. Like, that doesn't make her childish. But I could see how people could feel that way. But I think that would only be if Martell was actually not like, doing shit to agitate her. I think he instigated that situation with Ariane, and I feel like everybody's acting like that's not what he did. He did something to get this response. It has nothing to do with Sheree. He drove off. It made me feel like the producers kept trying to force this scene to happen. He called her back, came back to the house. They talk in the driveway. He asked why she's not still, being cool like they were in Destin. And this is what happens every time. Mel tries not to have these conversations with people, and they want to keep pressing her. So what does Mel do? Mel very clearly communicates what her issue is. Mel says, hold on. She says he calls her. I want to make sure I'm doing. He called back. She says when she came back from Destin, it was drama that she had not dealt with for a very long time, and she realized that she had not dealt with that drama because she had not dealt with him. Okay, so it was triggering for her. He says that she can't hold him accountable for Ariane being childish. She says, no, I can, because you were the one that gave her the information. You put the battery in her back. He is arguing, and this is what a lot of other people are saying, that Mel is petty because she's making a big deal out of him sharing her medical records because she had COVID. She putting 20 on 10 with saying sharing my medical records, but that goes back to Martell telling Ariane about the miscarriages and I believe a possible abortion that Mel had, which was none of Ariane's fucking business back then. And he did that back then. And she got on Tasha K's interview and told everybody about some shit that should have only been talked about by Mel, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? So you add that story to this story where she comes out and creates a discount code for her raggedy ass boutique talking about #double-sick after she put out that post talking about Mel had COVID and Mel was jealous and mad because Martell called her by Ariane's name. But Mel is wrong for now feeling like she can't trust Martell, since he obviously can't keep shit to himself in order not to cause more issue between the two of them, because Ariane has repeatedly done this same thing. So he should know by now not to share any information about Mel that you don't have to, because Ariane will take that shit to social media and cause issues between you and your baby mama, you and your ex-wife. So Martell, if that's not what you wanted, you should have been more apologetic that happened, instead of telling Mel that she don't have a right to feel away because you had to share that information, and then trying to shame her for catching COVID. Like, yeah, you just out here catching COVID over and over again and exposing our kids to it, once again trying to make her look like a bad mom. So that's when she decided to bring it back around to the fact that, say once again that you don't want me the way you was calling me Monday before last. Mel, we soulmates, Mel. Yeah, that was petty. That was a petty response to him. Absolutely. But are we going to act like all of the things he said beforehand weren't triggering? And that's what I'm talking about. Nobody said that Mel was perfect. Nobody said that Mel isn't petty sometimes. But I feel like those are times when a motherfucker is entitled to be petty. When people are coming to their literal doorstep with drama and bullshit after they extended themselves in a way they didn't have to, emotionally and financially. I don't care what nobody's talking about. I really don't. Because ultimately, Ariane wouldn't have had a chance to come at Mel online like that if he had not given her the information that he did. Even if you take the COVID situation out of it, why did he go back and tell Ariane that Mel and him argued and then he accidentally called Mel Ariane? He told Ariane that because Ariane probably felt a way about the trip he took. So in order to get her to give up the pussy and calm down, he's already mad at Mel because Mel didn't want him. So he starts pillow talking to Ariane all his frustrations about Mel and the things that have been happening. And what does she do? What she's always done: use it against Mel, get her ass online and talk about it. To me, this was very cut and dry. I don't think it had anything to do with Sheree. I don't think Sheree is that important in the storyline in order for everybody to, feel like Mel was so upset about Sheree. It wasn't about Sheree. And the point still remains that what Mel has been saying that y'all think makes her bitter is that he can't hurt me with Sheree because he already hurt me with Ariane. Do y'all not get it? I can't be double sick, bitch, when the first one was the hardest one because I was his wife then. Now I don't want this nigga. So I don't care about him being with Sheree. I care about the other baby mama constantly causing issues for me because she's not going anywhere. As long as we both have children for him, I'm going to have to deal with her in some capacity, and he's not getting better about protecting me from her bullshit. So why should I let him in my house? Tell me again. Tell me again. It makes no sense to me the way people are formulating this situation in their minds, okay? But Mel explained that to him and told him that, Mel, we soulmates and all of that shit that he was saying to her. And then he says, you didn't fuck too many people for me to still want you. And I was like, that is not what you was saying when you was flirting about being in her bed when y'all was on that Destin trip. Has she fucked more people since Destin? I don't think so. I think you slut shame her like all the rest of you dusty, basic bitch ass niggas do. Whenever y'all can't win an argument with the woman, y'all always go for the same shit. Slut shaming. Making somebody feel bad about what they done with they cat. Boy, bye. Okay, you need to feel bad about having a baby with a motherfucker that look like she don't know what she doing over there. Okay, because if I see her on live one more time getting beat up by her baby, okay? Listen, anyway, Mel says he put a battery in Ariane's back, and he's been doing that for years. And he says that she should have told him off camera that she was upset about Ariane. Why? Why? Why should she do that? Did he tell her off camera beforehand that he was inviting the Scotts on her vacation? Oh, we gonna act like that's not the same thing? Because y'all love to do that. Y'all love to act like it's not the same thing. He repeatedly does shit to Mel to catch her off guard. And she's supposed to always be protecting him, having conversations with him behind the scenes to protect his feelings. But he don't have to protect her from Ariane's messy ass? No. I think Mel handled herself perfectly. Told him to kiss her ass and went back in her nice ass house and closed the door. Okay? Now, we know they're going to continue to argue on social media. And sometimes I wish Mel wouldn't engage. I really do. But I also feel like sometimes you got to get shit off your chest when people repeatedly play in your face. It's not like, because the bitter thing to me is so fucked up because it's so untrue. Because to me, bitter means I've done something, I apologize, I'm better, and you're still mad. That's bitter. To me, that's bitter. Bitter is not, you are a habitual line stepper who I keep trying to forgive and you keep doing shit that's in line with disrespect. You keep playing with me. And so I am now going to do what I was doing, which is cut you the fuck out. Because you can't handle being close to me. Because you being close to me means Ariane knows shit about me that she should not know. Simple. And that was in response to him saying his chick is badder than her. He's a man, a bitch ass nigga. Okay? To disrupt her peace? Absolutely not. Okay, she should have said just like your mammy. Okay, that's Rich coming from his dirty dick having ass child. Slut shaming, look size, or not having a man, the typical go-to. It is. It's sad. It's predictable. You bitches are basic. Come up with new lines. I want Mel to cut up so bad, but I also want her to keep her peace. I feel like we all understand you gotta raise hell with people sometimes. This whole idea that she's supposed to not respond negatively to negativity in order to prove that she don't want him anymore. And that's what I want people to understand. She cannot want to be with him and still be mad at him at the same fucking time. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing? A person can love somebody, can't stand them, miss them sometimes, but know that they don't need to be with them. Like all of that shit. Why do y'all need for her to be crying and weak somewhere in order for her feelings about being hurt in this relationship to be valid? It's really, really weird the way people expect for her to just act like everything's okay, even when she feels disrespected. Like, go to hell. Go to hell. That's why today he has no access to her and he can thank his baby mama. Exactly. Once you realize that people are truly suffering with themselves, you don't even want revenge. You don't. You just want to be away from them because they're going to self-destruct anyway. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. If you have been with a man that's manipulative the way Martell is, and you know that's who he is, you know that whatever woman he goes to next is only getting that same version of him. She's not getting a better version. She may get the I haven't fucked up yet version, but sooner or later he's going to do something and he's going to prove himself to be the same man he was to Mel. He'll prove himself to be that to you. Ariane has shown us so many times the way Martell talks bad to her, plays with her, doesn't do what he's supposed to do by her. We've seen that. Because she'll get her ass online and tell us about it and then be slurping up his ball juice, the next day and acting like, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Yeah, we know. You dickmatized with your pathetic ass. It is pathetic. I don't care. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'm sick of these miserable, basic, raggedy thunder cunts. Mel just burn it all down. Ariane is so dumb. What woman is going to lay up with a man and enjoy him talking about his wife with her constantly? Just slow. Exactly. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Martell is out here searching for a stepmom for them 5 kids. It was obvious that Sheree was like somebody he thought was going to be able to take care of him until he realized that Sheree is not that. You and Sheree are probably a lot alike, Martell. Both need other people to aid y'all in getting where y'all are going because y'all can't really do it on your own. And Sheree is a little bit more, inept. She's a little bit more about it than you are simply because she's a woman that had to take care of children by herself. Simply being a woman means you have to be able to go out and get it in a different way than a man that can rely on women his whole life. Especially if he's just a nice looking hoe-like man. All of you, I can dickmatize a woman and I look good niggas. Yeah, y'all can be out here moving from couch to couch. Mama to girlfriend, back to mama to new girlfriend, from girlfriend to girlfriend. Y'all can do that all day and never really have to take care of y'all fucking selves. And it's amazing to me the way people act like women are the ones out here doing that. But no, to me, I feel like usually women will find a way to take care of themselves even until they find some nigga to save them. Sheree found a way to pay for that house until she could find Bravo or another nigga to save her. Okay? Mel, on the other hand, gonna go out here and get her own bag herself. She's not gonna look for somebody to come and save her. Martell was looking for Sheree to be like Mel, but she's not. She's not. That's how I view. 15 minutes. Oh, thank you. You have two. You have to deal with crazy people differently than the way you deal with sane people. Okay? Listen. And it's true. It's so true. With sane people, I can have conversations. We could figure it out. With a crazy person, you either gonna get ignored or cursed out. All of this holding shit in so you don't look like the bad guy. Fuck out of here with that. And that's what they want Mel to do. Wait, him saying my kids and my son. What the fuck is that? Oh, your kids. Child, y'all know what that's about. Okay, as long as he can make it seem as if those kids are an extension of him, he can act as if Mel is hurting the kids or Ariane is hurting the kid whenever they want to do something that he doesn't like. Oh, you how, this make you a good mother? You out here doing this, doing that. Child, I can't stand when niggas act like you fucking somebody means you not a good mom. I'ma need for all children to stop worrying about their mama's pussies. That's how I feel about it. Hey, children, unless the person is harming you, please stop worrying about who your people be fucking. Because it's weird to me the way children get all like, possessive of their parents. I feel like, do better about that. It's weird. It's real weird, y'all. What the Melody really sees how envious her ex-husband is of her. He sees her as an opportunity and he has no access. The truth. Ariane online throwing shots at Mel with the double sick, and then her ass was double sick when them pictures with Sheree came out. And I know that's right. Heck, Sheree looking for someone to save her. Exactly. Okay. Y'all want to go look at the trailer right quick before I go? Because we can do that. I could pull up the trailer and we could check out the trailer. And then I'll go ahead and get out of here. And, you know, Lyric should be coming back soon with the chicken tenders, child, so I can eat before the makeup artist gets here to do my makeup. Martell going to get his kids karma. Them kids gonna look back at how he treated their mom and gonna resent him for it. Probably. Especially because it's on television. All right, Destiny opening for singer Monica. All right, Destiny, girl, that's cute. Oh, let me see. Where is that? Let me check that. What's this? Martell to Mel, you can't handle the truth. Child, you think so? Is this that whole scene?
I don't hear nothing. Typical insecure man or boy. I don't see
Hold up. Let me see, y'all. I'm trying to find a super trailer. I don't see it. Okay, now I gotta search for it. That's all right. Oh, wait. Was it on the end of this one? Let me see.
FindOwn.tv.
Okay, no, y'all didn't put it on there. Okay, hold up, y'all. I'm pulling it up. Marriage Huntsville reunion trailer.
Week on the love.
Okay, hold up, y'all. Let me fix it. I want to make it bigger. Hold up, y'all. Okay, there we go. Wait, hold up, y'all. I'm gonna make it smaller so that y'all can still see me. I'm still trying to get used to this whole situation. Okay. All right, we're ready. Are we ready? Thumbs up. Okay.
Marriage Huntsville reunion.
I don't know if y'all can hear it.
Yeah, they do.
You have a dark soul. Oh. She is the true definition of the devil in sheep clothing.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
We ain't been through.
Is Tisha talking about Mel being the devil in sheep's clothing? Is Tisha talking about Mel being the devil in sheep's clothing? Is that what I'm to believe?
Retreat now.
I get along with everybody.
No, you know they just my. Honestly, you know that it's just my character.
This is some. Let's just be real. She knows the truths that I hold about her.
What I think.
Do you really want me to do this?
Yes. Please tell it. Please tell it.
Do it, Destiny. Don't do that.
Tell it. Tell it. I want you to tell it, Destiny. Tell it.
To some of these rumors.
Because you don't never say shit.
Sex parties at Credit One.
Not sex parties at Credit One, which is Maurice's business. Are y'all having sex parties down to the Credit One? Are they having sex? Y'all.
Somebody's gonna find themselves in a lawsuit if they get around.
Ooh, who y'all gonna sue? Who y'all gonna sue?
Loyalty and faithfulness from him.
This way with that.
Tisha, why you wearing the same shit that it looked like Stormy had on at Mel's skincare launch? Are you wearing Stormy's dress? Did she let you borrow it? Are y'all the same size? I don't know.
Destiny was too chummy with me. Was too Destiny.
From him.
This way.
Same loyalty and faithfulness from him.
This way with that.
Destiny
Martell, you still being messy.
was too chummy with Martell.
Just called him the other week at like 1 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
We had 20 weeks of chemotherapy
Y'all, is Mel still paying Martell's cell phone bill?
in front of us. Regardless of the outcome, my situation is going to help the next person. I'm going to get past this.
You are.
A lot of things have been said. Kiki, you know for a fact that Marcel has cheated on Tisha.
I found a picture of a girl in Marcel's phone.
Listen, I hate the way they edited that in because Tisha is never going to put Marceau on blast for cheating on her. I bet you that'll be something like, oh, I saw it on his phone, but it was something that somebody had sent to him. Or it wasn't like that. She'll find a way to explain it away.
Was it a naked picture?
Yes. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm not
Tisha, why you walking away? I thought you said you found a picture. And Kiki says that it was a naked picture and now you getting up and walking away. Where you going? Look at Mel's face. Y'all are mad at Mel because Mel is tickled by this. And I feel like I would be tickled too if a bitch been lying saying that her husband don't cheat on her. That's never something she's dealt with. But she loves laughing about my shit. She loved laughing about Martell cheating on me. But anytime I'm sitting up here laughing because she stay lying about it, but it's obvious I'm wrong. Girl. Girl, what y'all think? After this reunion, Mel should just chuck up the deuces on all these bitches. I think so too. No, this is when Mel thought her phone was hacked. They're trying to flip it. Oh, Mel didn't hack his phone. This was when they were going through the divorce. He tried to hack her phone and hacked his phone instead. And Destiny turned it around and made it seem like Mel hacked his phone. Destiny ain't shit. See, Tisha shouldn't have to explain it. Marceau should explain it. But she not with her dumb ass. She gonna continue to be a mouthpiece for him. The people say Martell tried to clone Mel's phone, but accidentally reverse cloned it, and Mel saw some inappropriate things between him and Destiny. Again, the people said, who are the people, bitch? But y'all know that's what I've been saying because I don't like the way Destiny been moving. It feels like you got some type of emotional, or romantic feelings for him the way you continue to be involved in they shit like you do. Taking his side even though he be wrong. Like, it's weird. Your protectiveness of him, like all of that shit. That man told you your mouth is the reason why you got a divorce and you still be up here caping for him. It's sad. It's sad. I don't think Tisha and Stormy are the same size. Tisha look like a little linebacker lately. No, she don't. That girl look good. She look real good in that red dress. Mel says she had a good reunion. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad my girl had a good reunion. Hump wig get on my damn nerves. Like, girl, that man don't like you. The reunion is going to be interesting to watch. It will. And I can't wait. Either way, I hope y'all enjoy. Please don't forget to, like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. Because I might release this to everybody, since, I might want to just throw it out there. Because I ain't going to be able to do a lot of videos this week. I'm really trying to do this little staycation at the end of the week right before Christmas, but we'll see. Either way, y'all, my food is here. I love y'all so much. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Wish me luck for the night. Y'all know I'll be posting and telling y'all about it tomorrow. So everybody have a good rest of their day and pray for me. All right, I love y'all. Bye.